Alright. All praises. Call Halam La to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Quadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. I would like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, which I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the elect, the hopeful elect, the 1/3, men, women, and children that's pushing this truth and sincerity. Alright. This is the brother Malak Tazadak Adawan. And I'm going to start with the book of Joel. Joel 2:28. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions." All right. So my son basically the other day told me about a dream he had, right? And he started out by mentioning that we were in ancient Egypt. All right. And so the story of the dream went is he was saying that some man was telling him to bring some metal up a pyramid, right? So automatically that made me think about our ancient forefathers in bondage in Egypt, enslaved, So obviously we were the erectors, the builders of the pyramids, right? So, him being directed to bring something up to him, to me resembles servitude, slavery, basically. So, continuing on in the dream, he says that in the next account, we were on a mountain, and from there, some walls of water were up like 30 feet high. So he sees a wall of water up 30 feet high. So automatically I'm like, yo, that's dealing with Moses, parting the Red Sea. It was like clear as day. I'm like, wow, so it kind of bugged me out. It freaked me out. But, it was just so spot on, So I was telling the brothers about it. And, basically, one of the bros was basically saying that the mountain more than likely could resemble the chariots, us basically, being delivered and, watching from above as, as like when Pharaoh, well, basically he was saying futuristic, it could, entail the lake of fire, the second death, so that resembles the chariots, us, being delivered and seeing the destruction of America. Okay. So, but in the sense of going back to ancient Egypt, I was basically telling him like, well, that actually happened. That was our forefathers. That was us. That happened to us. Where the Pharaoh, him and his army was chasing us, and Moses lifted up his staff, and the Red Sea split. And it allowed a pathway for our people to escape through. And after that, he was saying that, after standing on the mountain the whole city just flooded. So, I believe he was saying like the water fell and, the whole city was flooded. But prior to that, he was saying that I said that today seems like it's going to be a good day. So, being, prophetic, that's probably, a futuristic outlook of, our salvation. So that was beautiful. So it was, it was a prophecy inside of a dream, if you will. So yeah, it was real heavy. So that's why I brought out this Joel 2:28. I'll read it again. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. You see here? So this is comparison to seeing, a future happening. So yeah, so this here, I'll continue on, right? In Joel, and it reads, verse 29, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. See there? So even, the heathens is going to see, visions and have dreams, which, we've all saw on, YouTube, what perceived to be a Caucasian or, Asian person or somebody saying, they saw, the moon turn red and, they went to heaven and saw, who they called, deemed, Jesus, the name, which we know is Yahweh Shai, that he's black and, he was unpleased, with the way, his people was being treated. This is, various videos I've seen as well. So yeah, so the Lord is going to pour out his spirit, right? Verse 30, and I will shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. See, it's going into, the wonders, the signs and the wonders. The blood is gonna, turn to the moon is gonna turn to blood. It's gonna drip blood. And it says the sun. Y'all hear it? The sun shall be turned into darkness. See, those eclipses. We just had one happen, a year or two ago. So the sun is going to be eclipsed, right? And that causes all type of gravital pulls, and the ocean and the seas pull. You know what I'm saying? Which can cause, a different, natural disasters, right? And like I said, hence, and the moon into blood. See? Before the great and terrible day of the Lord Yahweh come, right? So yeah, so this is the day of the Lord. This is a prophecy speaking on the end of days. You know what I'm saying? The return of Yahushua. So this is speaking on a future prophecy that's going to take place, right? The day of the Lord. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance. See there? So that's that deliverance. That's in the dream he had us standing on the mountain. You know what I'm saying? Watching the city pretty much be flooded. You know, in ancient Egypt and in future prophecies with being on the chariots. You know what I'm saying? Seeing the world burn. You know, by nuclear fire. You know, the lake of fire. Right? And it reads, as the Lord Yahweh have said, and the remnant whom the Lord Yahweh shall call. See, that's the elect. You know what I'm saying? The 1/3 men, women, and children. Right? So yeah, so that was just kind of you know, like spooky to kind of hear, if you will. You know, kind of, you know, bugged me out a little bit. You know, to hear, you know, my son say that, because, you know, it just hit all the points. You know what I'm saying? It brought it home. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a beautiful thing. Right? And so that was the prophet Joel, right? So even in with that, the prophet there, Joel, was prophesizing about future events, you know, and basically it was reiterated again in Acts 17. And it reads, so Acts 2 and 17. And it reads, and it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. So yeah, so this is going into specifying that in the last days. You know what I'm saying? So this is geared towards, and it's in a latter book of Acts. So it was first mentioned, you know what I'm saying, by Joel. So like I started up at 16. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. Verse 17, and it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out of my spirit, upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Right? So it's clearly showing you that this was a prophecy from the prophet Joel, you know, and then is reiterated here in Acts 2 and 17, specifically mentioning in the last days. You know what I'm saying? The day of the Lord, you know. And continuing on, 18, and on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. You see there? So the Lord is gonna, you know, open up people's, you know, pineal glands, man. You know what I mean? They're gonna see clearly. You know what I'm saying? You know, like my man Bobby McFerrin. You know what I'm saying? That the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. You know? So yeah. 19. And I will shew wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, right? Earthquakes in diverse places. You know what I'm saying? Famines, pestilences. You know what I'm saying? War, rumors of war. Blood and fire and vapor of smoke. See there? So what it says that the blood shall reach up to the horse's bridle. You know, fire. You know, different explosions. You know, the missiles hitting. You know, smoke. Verse 20: the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and notable day of the Lord comes. See, it's going to be a great. It's going to be a day, none likened unto it. A day none likened unto it. So it's going to be the great, and it's going to be notable. You know what I'm saying? So people gonna notice in that day, like, yo, this is, you know, I've never seen nothing like this a day, before a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? And it's the day of the Lord comes, see? So yeah, the Lord ain't coming back, man, handing out, you know what I'm saying, Valentine cards day, Valentine's Day cards and, chocolate roses and red and pink teddy bears, hugs and kisses, XOXO. The Lord, he gonna come back and X and out some shit out. You know what I'm saying? He gonna X some shit out, all right. You know what I'm saying? That's the only XO you gonna see, right? Verse 21: and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord, see, that's why the name is important. You know what I'm saying? It is as a safe tower. You know what I'm saying? So it's a place to hide. You know, the name is a hiding place. You know, it's a safe tower. Shall be saved, right? So whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, shall be saved. See? That's your deliverance right there. That's the key. That's your key of getting out of here. Not just calling on a name because, you got a cheat code all of a sudden and you just trying to, use it real quick. No, you're going to really have to believe from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Before hell broke, loose. Yeah, it ain't just going to work because you overheard the Hebrew Israelites say the name was, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. No, you're really going to have to actually believe. That's the only way it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? That's the faith, the belief in the name. You know what I'm saying? Right? So yeah, so basically, this was an account, a prophecy, that took place, from the prophet Joel all the way up into Acts, and I just put it together, as with the dream my son had. It's like, wow, this is really happening. This is how it was going to happen. The Bible tells me so, that these things is going to happen. So, to all you brothers, your Akim out there that have little ones, listen to them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get caught up in, we too busy. What do you got to say now? All these stories and stuff, and because kids, they have a lot of stuff on their mind, and you might get kind of overwhelmed. It becomes daunting. Like, okay, what is it now? You know what I'm saying? You think it's something frivolous and silly, but in all actuality, it could be something that a sign that the Lord, you know what I'm saying, is sending through this child that he wants you to see. You know what I'm saying? That it could be an important message. You know what I'm saying? That this child could be relaying to you. You know, so yeah, don't always just overlook your children and disregard. You know what I'm saying? You know, stuff they have to say. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know it could be overbearing. You know, because they you know, kids can talk. You know, so trust me, I know. You know, but you know, just you know. Just lend the ear to hear sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you might be you might learn something, you know. So yeah, you know, with that I just want to give all praise, honor, power, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar Qudash. Until next time, Tawada, Tawab, Mama.